waiting. He's waiting for something to harp on. I actually thought I was going to be coming out of this one with some gripes, but they figured it out in that fourth quarter, 35-22. They win 113-104. Really was a double-digit game in the end there. And I just thought the execution was methodical down the stretch, going after Cade Cunningham after the fifth foul, having everybody in the right places, getting downhill, passing the ball out, and we got a Payton Pritchard game to talk about.
That's the Brownie Award winner.
Here comes 45 minutes on Payton Pritchard.
Yeah,
why don't we start there? So Payton Pritchard.
Why don't we not?
We're not going to start there.
Why not? Him and Grant, I thought, were the forces off the bench to change this game, and Pritchard actually ends up closing it. 8 of 12, 3 of 5 from deep, 6 assists, 19 points. He did it all, and he would have had 21 if it wasn't for the blown layup there.
He did it all.
He about that layup.
He ended up kicking out to Tatum for the three anyway.
He's running for that layup.
Listen. None of you guys sound excited about this. I'm thrilled.
Here's the thing about Payton.
Let's go, Sherrod.
The thing about Payton that I liked was, and again, we know going to pretty much every game, he's going to get 10 to 15 minutes. And I've said this repeatedly. You have to make those minutes expand by playing well. To me, it's like going to a casino with like $10. If you leave with $10 and break even, what good is that? You want to make that 10 20 to 50.
You shouldn't be in that establishment. You shouldn't be in that establishment.
Payton made the most of the minutes he knew he had in the bank to get more minutes. That's how this stuff works. I don't understand why people feel Payton should get like 20, 25 minutes a game. Hell no. Get 10, 15, play your ass off.
16 points in 20 minutes.
Win. Exactly. And get more minutes. That's how this is supposed to work. You shouldn't be given minutes. You earn them by your play. And Payton, without question, earned his minutes tonight.
And that's why I think Ime Udoka kind of kept the leash on Pritchard, because he wasn't being productive when he got those 10 minutes here and there, or when the Celtics were really thin and they needed him to come in, first or second off the bench. He didn't make the most of those minutes. So I think when you are able to sort of humble yourself and you're at the end of the bench and you're only playing like the end of the fourth quarters in garbage time, I think all that's relevant, and it's sort of it led to this moment, to this game for Pritchard. And man, you gotta get the young kid you gotta give the young guy credit, because man, even after that blown layup, he still kept his composure, man, which would have been really hard for some other younger players who they're put in that big spot, blow a big layup in a big moment of the game, and still have enough guts to keep it moving.
But he was wide open.
He made up for it too by making that reverse layup that sort of closed the door for good. He was wide open, Bobby. Yeah, that was bad.
I mean, listen, we've been talking about if Pritchard has a role in this team for a while now. I mean, all season really, and we didn't think that we would see much of him with Schroder on the team, and we didn't. And then when they traded Schroder, they traded Richardson. There's opportunities for these young guys. Grant's taken his opportunity and run with it. Nesmith has had a little opportunity, not much since his trade. And now Pritchard gets his big chance today and made the most of it, and proving to, his teammates, proving to Ime that he can be trusted out there. We know he can shoot. I mean, that's not a surprise to see him, hit threes. He's one of their, weirdly enough, one of their better shooters. It's just a matter of him getting the opportunities to get those shots in. And what else is he going to offer, out there besides the 3-point shots? Because a lot of times you'd rather have Tatum or Brown taking those shots anyway. So he has to give you more than just that. So tonight he did a little bit of everything, facilitating, obviously the scoring, and he just earned his time out there late in the game.
That's what I said.
He had to present himself as an option, someone that the defense actually had to pay some semblance of attention to. And that's, to me, that's the thing that he has to be more comfortable with being. You don't have to go out there and be, pro where you're dropping 92. You don't have to be that good.
He was trying to do that. That was a problem.
Yeah, but you at least have to do enough to where teams have to respect your jump shot. I mean, think about how teams used to guard Grant Williams a year ago, and think about how they guard him now. They didn't just all of a sudden decide, well, now we're going to defend Grant. No, Grant had to earn their respect, and Payton has to do the same. And this was, I think, a good step in that direction. But obviously with him, just like all these young guys, it's about consistency. You don't have to go out and score 19 points every game, but if you get open shots, you need to make more of them than not. And that's what he was able to do tonight, and that's what he has to, or today rather, and that's what he has to do going forward for this team.
I just want to get one more thing into also real quick, Bobby. This is also sort of like that. this is that moment for Pritchard when on nights where Derek White just doesn't have it, right? And this was one of those days, I should say, right? This is one of those games, and
That
the Celtics going to
concerned me.
need those. They're going to need that kind of production somewhere, right? Those kind of points, 19 points, 17 points, wherever. You need to get that from somewhere. And the Celtics, we've been talking about this all season. They're really thin. So for someone like Pritchard to come in and do what he did, if he can find consistency on that level, man, that would be a big asset for the Celtics moving forward this season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'd be an aggressiveness to his game too, as I talked about. Making the most of those minutes. That means stepping right into those shots, getting downhill, which he finally did here. I think with a lot of guys on this team, there's a sense that you have to just fire away when you catch and shoot in those spots. But you can do secondary dribble drives. You can get downhill, find some other guys, make extra passes, which is what he did after that wide open look he got that he missed from 3 in the left corner there, and then ultimately got a few more shots to go after that. He's got to be able to do more with less, as Sherrod talked about, because he had a lot of room to operate last year when Kimba was out and, Smart was dealing with some injuries. He got a ton of minutes. He had a huge role, and it doesn't look like that's going to be how it is for him here ever again, especially when, as Josue mentioned, you have the addition of White there.